The name of my spoken word essay is Our Jesse. Past is prologue. Intro. There's a clarion call for a new era of leadership. Leaders who can galvanize change in 140 characters or less. Leaders who can start a movement with a profound hashtag. Leaders who are unbothered by the status quo. Leaders who can usher in paradigm shifts, one compelling post, blog at a time. Prologue. Our predecessors paved the way by marching, picketing, boycotting, striking, sitting in, and standing up to injustice and inequality. Many legendary leaders emerged from the civil rights movement. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, Ralph Abernathy, John Lewis, Rosa Parks, and Thurgood Marshall, just to name a few. In our weary yet determined voices, we sang these words with pride. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Many of those heroic leaders were leading while bleeding. They sacrificed so much of themselves so that we and their posterity might have a chance at a better life. Our generation is indebted to their legacy. God bless them all. During this same era, 1954 to 1968, a Baptist minister by the name of Reverend Jesse Jackson joined forces with the SCLC and also became an integral part of the civil rights movement. Well, in a mystery that only history would reveal, it was later discovered that Dr. King and Reverend Jackson didn't always see eye to eye. So the two men eventually decided to part ways, and Jesse branched off on his own and formed the Rainbow Coalition, and later he also created PUSH, which was an acronym for People United to Serve Humanity. Over time, Rainbow PUSH evolved into one organization. Keep hope alive would become his mantra. This Jesse was outspoken, brazen, controversial, opportunistic to some, scandalous to a certain degree, and a bona fide politician. But at the end of the day, Reverend Jackson was a trailblazer, and his catalytic style of activism opened the door so that one day we would have the opportunity to experience an African American president in the White House. I said all of that to say this. Somewhere in between placid and agitated, between prolific and sterile, between militant and conciliatory, between deity and mere mortal, between magic and mundane, our Jesse emerged. Fast forward to 2016, a time in which communication via social media reigned supreme, a time where hashtags reveal our innermost thoughts, a time where cell phones capture footage that would otherwise get lost, as in tampered with in precincts, hashtag Sandra Bland. A time where you must learn new colloquialisms, hashtag stay woke, and a time when a new voice tinged with urgency, laced with eloquence, and saturated with intelligence, causes us to awaken from our slumber. This voice commanded my attention. His message required my comprehension. His speech, hashtag BET Awards 2016, was textured with depth and dimension. His call to action caused our collective ascension. Preach, Jesse, I yelled at my flat screen. Say that, Dr. Jackson Avery from Grey's Anatomy. Jesse Williams, you are the truth, I'd say with so much pride. Your words separate bone from marrow, and your passion cannot be denied. Your comportment reminds us of a modern day Harry Belafonte. Your locution reminds us of the late great Dr. King. Your swagger reminds us of President Barack Obama. Your intelligence reminds us of the illustrious Dr. Cornel West. And your eyes remind us of a beautiful ocean filled with infinite possibilities. Your attractiveness is downplayed by your commitment to activism. Your humility is superseded by your natural charisma and grace. Your commitment to shining a light on Black Lives Matter dispels darkness, and you speak about freedom and equality from such an authentic place. Hashtag we feel you. Yes, your message may have been preceded by Keep Hope Alive, but your words are fresh, your mandate is contemporary, and your compelling delivery has a new vibe. We are enlivened by your fearlessness. We are moved by your boldness. We are uplifted by your astuteness, and we are inspired by your greatness. Jesse Williams, you are the voice of our generation. We are grateful that you've used your platform in such a meaningful way. We know that this is only the beginning and that you have a lot more to say. You stole the show that night. You conscientiously spoke from your heart. Your truth was our truth, and it resonated right from the start. May you continue to blaze new trails. May you continue to use your voice. Our Jesse is what we'll call you, a modern day W.E.B. Du Bois. And for you uppity folks, Du Bois. Words by Tawana Chamberlain, a cultural curator.